So, welcome back to another episode of the Warheads broadcast. I'm Apocalypto Joe with
And
my
I'm Roscoe.
partner.
I'm Roscoe Brown. Excuse me for jumping the gun now. Sorry about that.
It's all good, brother. And as usual, we always want to let you know to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you can always get our videos before our shows. I'm sorry, not our videos, our shows whenever we drop them. But today, Roscoe,
hmm
in the news is the rapper The Game. He got a lot of fame when he started off with G Unit back in the day.
Right.
Dr. Dre and 50 Cent helped him get put on, and he had some success. Pretty sure he was a platinum selling artist during that time, and I think he continued to put in some work in the game, the rap game, I should say. But as of late, the brother has went viral with a tweet.
hmm
And this particular tweet has to deal with relationships and how men and women interact. And so I just wanted to go into this with you and get your honest opinion about some of the things he said. He said a lot of nonsense, but I want to get some honest reactions from you from what he said. I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I think this is a good conversation to be had.
Okay.
So the first tweet, he says, why she gotta pay half the rent? Is she giving you half the vagina or something? N-words kill me since the beginning of time. Real men, he actually puts it in all caps, have always taken care of shelter, providing and protecting. And if you ain't got it, go get it. I just want your honest breakdown of what he said there, bro.
Well, I'm gonna actually go more into this a little later in this conversation, but first of all, I just think that it's unreasonable for him. Well, not unreasonable, but irresponsible for him to put out, a statement like this without him, I think, being either more clear on what he's saying, if that's not exactly what he wants to say, or to add or subtract from anything he said in that, because yeah, that's just amazingly, incredibly just dumb commentary. But you can continue.
All right, the second one he goes in on, and he says, if you're lucky enough to land an independent woman who works her ass off and still comes home to cook, clean, take care of kids, and go crazy sexually, let her stack what she makes in case y'all need it one day and still handle everything as a man.
Now the reason why I said is it was stupid earlier. When you add that little commentary into that, and the whole fact of them being allowed to save their money while you're just footing the bill for everything, basically, is just the most insane thing ever. Like, there's no guarantee whether you married to this woman or not, that she's gonna at some point like just share this, or she has I guess if she's the wife, she has some sort of obligation. But let's say she's not forthcoming with how much she's actually saving, and that type of deal. So you could never, there's no real guarantee that this nest egg at the end that your girlfriend or slash wife is supposed to be saving up is necessarily for the both of you all.
Okay. Well, I have one more that I want to read. It says, everybody different. I don't know why he didn't lead with that. But he says, everybody different. But it just ain't in me to let my woman, once again in all caps, share the worry of paying anything. I feel good carrying the load, and I'm not changing. So he's basically saying he pig-headed no matter what. So with that being said, I need your take on this because I am going to go on a small filibuster in a minute.
That's fine. That's fine. And for one, I want to say that for husbands, husbands are allowed to take care of their wives. Um, and even in that, there may be some situations that are different from others with the finances, where the finances are concerned. But if you're married to the woman and you happen to have the means to be able to do it, that's fine. But again, going back to what I said earlier, and whether or not Game was actually, if this was really what he was trying to say, or if he just forgot to leave out the fact that he's not speaking to every single guy, or this is a message for every single guy, because it's not. Because just again, going back to the irresponsibility of putting out this statement, why would a guy who doesn't have the means to take care of a woman, because you're just blatantly putting out this statement for everybody? So this would be for a guy who doesn't have the means to take care of a woman. He's supposed to ingest this and say to himself, okay, I'm supposed to just, without knowing that she has my best interest at heart, because he said nothing about that as a means of why I would want to give my everything to her in the first place. But yeah, it's just idiotic, like I said, irresponsible for him to not be more specific. And like I said, husbands, they can take care of the wives, whatever. But if we talk a girlfriend boyfriend situation, then that's a no for that, I think. And I think Game in particular, being the guy who would try to act as if he's some type of aficionado on this subject, is kind of, it just adds to the irresponsibility, because he doesn't have like a track record of being like a committed guy, a guy who's been in committed relationships, or somebody who's had this long-standing one thing with a one person. He's kind of been bouncing around and doing all this, so he doesn't have the character to even speak on this type of issue, I believe. So that's just my whole thing, is him being the guy saying all of this is weird, for one. The stuff that he's saying is weird, for two, but because he's not being probably more specific in my eyes, I think. But you can go ahead and say what you need to say, bro.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that, because I'm going to touch on some of those points, but I just want to go over those tweets. So this is basically what I got to say. He said, dudes kill him. Since the beginning of time, real men have always taken care of shelter, providing, protected. If you ain't got it, go get it. First of all, he qualifies this woman that he's with by saying she ain't giving you half the vagina. Well, the last I checked, sex is mutualistic in a relationship, true or false?
True.
So I'm not giving her half the penis. We're just gonna leave it there for now.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, if you're lucky enough to land an independent woman, first of all, an independent woman, just by definition, she's not looking to need you to do anything for her, period. She's not looking to have somebody who's sitting up here doing this. Women have fought long and hard to have their independence, and it's from situations just like this. Because we all know that in the past, a lot of men have abused the fact that they've made the lion's share of the money, or all the money, and used it as a carrot to dangle over the head of the women that they lived with, as a means of control and power and abuse. And so an independent woman, she's probably gonna relish the fact that she can pay her own car note, get her hair done, her nails, her weave, whatever it is she indulges in with her money, as opposed to having you pay for her whole entire lifestyle, because that's sending her right back to a place where women, through their waves of feminism, have fought for. He then goes on to say, everybody different. Well, why didn't you lead with that, Mr. Tyler, whatever his last name is? Yeah, everybody is different. Everybody is from different income brackets, so on and so forth. Some people can do this, many cannot. But what I thought was interesting, I took a few comments from the Instagram post. And what I thought was interesting, like, I'm going to read a series of comments. They're very short. One girl, Young Miami 305, says exactly. She's agreeing with this guy. Lil Mama says, I stand with you. Alexis Sky says, period. Another woman, Tiffany Fox, is just clapping. And as we go forward, a brother, I won't read the long one, I'll just put it on the video. But another woman, without and the women that I made mention of earlier, they all have blue check marks. I think that's important because we know the blue check mark means you're verified. That means that these are true Instagram models, if you will. But then we get to the real women, the ones who actually live in reality. One, just Ovinet, I don't know how to say her name. You know everything, why you single? This is the question she's asking him.
Right.
Another woman says, everyone is different, so just find a partner who suits you. Once again, a practical woman. Another woman named KMC says he can speak for himself though, because he has millions. Most work paycheck to paycheck, and it's a teamwork kind of relationship.
Right.
So as we can see from the blue check mark women, who are these women who we know are trying to get flued out to Miami and Dubai and all these other exotic locations, you know, to get racks and bands from these Middle Eastern men and these Israeli men who want to have gutter sex with them. Like, don't act like we don't know what goes on when they go on these trips and come back with money. They're dealing with millionaires and billionaires, oil tycoons, people who own lithium mines and diamond mines. Let's not pretend. They're not saying how they had to get defecated on and urinated on and have sex with multiple men to get those racks and bands, but we know what goes on when you get flued out. Let's keep it 1,000. So I say all of this because, and I think you alluded to it when you were talking, the game, I didn't realize he was as messy as he is. Back in February, on the app Clubhouse, and Clubhouse is an app that you have to be invited into. I was invited in, and then I kindly saw my way out because it was just a bunch of people talking a bunch of nonsense. But he goes on the record and says he had sex with Kim Kardashian, her sister Khloe Kardashian, Lisa Ray, Keisha Cole, Stacey Dash Black China, Drea Michelle, Erica Mena, Malia, Sin Santana, and some Instagram model named India Love. But this is what I know. He's not paying all the bills for any of these women. I know Kim Kardashian and her sister Khloe are way more caked up than the game is. So you telling me he paying the bill for all these women he's smashing? Last I checked, the game was in a relationship with a woman named Tiffany Webb that actually came to an end in 2012. But more than that, this man is on the record as interfering with the relationship with Rob Kardashian and Black China. He's on the record as interfering with the relationship between Bow Wow and Erica Mena, and even interfering with the relationship with Joe Budden and Sin Santana. He's very messy. He likes to stir up the pot, if you will, for relationships that he should have nothing to say. So what? You had sex with these women. Only a messy little girl would even think to bring up this type of drama. And so before I go into the second half of my filibuster, what is your take on all these women that he kissed and told about And the sad part about it, he even said in the interview that he did on Clubhouse, he says it's way more. In other words, there's other women, I'm pretty sure he's talking about industry women, that he's had sex with, he just didn't make mention of for whatever reason. But I noticed that he always steps to people who he feels like are pose no threat. Rob Kardashian is no threat to the game. Lil Bow Wow is no threat to the game. Joe Budden, he's a man who has something to lose. But he does this to people who he knows ain't really gonna step to them. This kissing and tell nonsense. What do you think of a man who does this? And I have another filibuster coming because this is some nonsense.
Yeah, there's a latent insecurity in a lot of these guys who exhibit these kind of traits. In my opinion, I just think that it's unnecessary to have to gloat about how many conquests you've had and all this other kind of stuff. I know, and there'll be times when we're kind of in our own circles, we'll talk about it a little bit, but to use it as a badge of honor is, or try to use it as that is a whole nother thing. We guys will talk stuff, but we not running around thinking that one guy is better than the other guy because he slept with X amount of chicks or something like that. It just doesn't happen like that. So all this is, show for who, I'm not sure, it just doesn't make any sense to have to do it like that. But to go beyond these women that he mentioned that he slept with, I just want to talk about just the mindset of, a lot of the women, and like some of those women in the tweets, in the replies to the tweet rather, and just some of these ladies' mindsets, some of these ladies go about thinking that they're actually independent women, yet they still have the expectation of a guy taking care of them, which seems like an incredible oxymoron, which seems like one just doesn't work with the other one, but yeah, it's just crazy that they'll have this mindset that I'm my own person, I could call my own shots, no man is gonna be able to hold anything over me, but yet still have this expectation that a guy is supposed to foot the bill when you're not looking to be submissive. Because that's when most guys are fitting the bill like that. They're the compromise that they're hopefully expecting out of that is that that we're able to have some type of compromise with you, that you're some type of that you have some type of demeanor that's worth me spending time with you and all this and that. But yeah, the mindset of these women is just a thing that really trips me out, bro. Like I said, I just don't understand how we get the oxymoron thing of the independent woman who still has these crazy expectations at the end of the day.
Well, I'm gonna say this because I think a lot of them have this mentality because they're being enabled by people like the game, the lame. I mean, is it the game or the lame?
Either or is fine.
Either or is fine. Okay.
Yeah.
He also goes on to say in another tweet, might I add, maybe I'm old school, but my woman ain't paying one damn bill, not rent, not mortgage, not a car note, not nails, hair, clothes, food, or groceries. If you're taking care of home and cooking and screwing the you know what out of me, life on me, period. Now, what he's describing essentially is a child. Only a child needs every need and want provided for them. If you're dealing with an independent woman, she has a certain pride that comes with her being able to pay for her own stuff. And I know we said that, they want it both ways, but a truly independent woman isn't gonna want somebody paying for her own way. However, what he's essentially doing is spoiling these women. If he's doing this, I know he's not doing this. He's not even in a relationship right now. No. But I looked up the definition for spoiled, and I find it very interesting. It says, of a person, especially a child, harmed in character by being treated too leniently or indulgently. He's really sitting up here talking about indulging these women. I'm going to give you everything. I'm going to pay for everything. You're being indulged. Now, when we think about the world of finance and stocks and bonds, when someone invests in a company and they buy shares of that company, the reason why they get benefit from when that stock doubles, triples, quadruples, quintuples, whatever you want to call it, the reason why they get the money that they get is because they have skin in the game. I remember my mom used to always tell me, never get involved with anybody who got less to lose than you do. When you invest in something and you get a return because you have skin in the game, it's a more fulfilling, it's more fulfilling than it is somebody just giving you something. When you've worked and earned something in your life, you cherish it, you protect it, you take care of it. But anytime somebody's just giving you something left and right, you don't care about that thing. And so the point that I wanted to make, it was a couple of articles that I set up here and looked up. One of them is from the New Republic, and it's dealing with an article called The Urgent Case for a Shrinking Economy. Right now, we as Americans and even the world, the economy is calcifying right now. And what that basically means is it's hardening. It's becoming stiff, not able to move. It's not growing. The GDP is not growing. Yeah, the stock market is growing. And that's mainly because people are doing the short on a lot of stocks. But on one part of this particular article, it brings up, it says, even just one more century of growth, which so far has shown no sign of taking a less destructive form, will require multiple Earths. In other words, our planet is running out of resources. So when the game says, if you ain't got it, go and get it, how do you do that on a planet that's actually quite literally running out of resources? In order for this planet to grow the way that people anticipated it would, we would need another planet or two. And that's why people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos are trying to go intergalactic. They're trying to go mine on other planets and trying to find asteroids to get other minerals to fuel their empires with. But there's also another article from bookings.com, and it says, examining the black-white wealth gap. And in the first paragraph, it says, a close examination of wealth in the United States finds evidence of staggering racial disparities. At $171,000 net worth of a typical white family, it's nearly 10 times greater than that of a black family at $17,150. And this was a study done back in 2016. I ain't even gonna read the whole thing because it's kind of self-explanatory. So in my estimation, Game ain't talking to men like me and you. He's talking to white men. He's talking to people who actually have the means to support a woman and kids without the help. Just like the one sister said on the Instagram post, everybody's situation is different. Most people are living paycheck to paycheck. But when you look at us as a community, as a people, Black people only own less than 2% of the nation's wealth. And that's including people like Oprah and Tyler Perry and Jay-Z and Beyonce and anybody you can think of who considers themselves a Black American. Less than 2%. And so for him to put this expectation on the average Black man, it's unrealistic. He's a simp. You know, only a simp is going to hand over all his money and not expect anything back. And to sit up here and place a vagina on a pedestal, that's all you got to do is bring your vagina to the relationship and you're going to have your whole life financed. Like, you don't have to have good character. You don't have to cook, clean, do any of that stuff. I know he mentioned those things, but what he's basically saying is go make your money and stack it up. And all you got to do is have sex with me because you're not giving me half the vagina. I don't know, bro. Do you have anything else to add to this nonsensical man, the game's comments?
I don't have nothing else to add to it that you haven't already said, bro. I mean, we pretty much covered it all. You know, we said it all. We went over the mindset of some of these women. You know, Game and his irresponsibility and saying all of this stuff. So, yeah, just another check in the annals, I guess, you know, for another a-hole just spewing some stuff that he shouldn't be. So
I feel you. So men, women, work with each other. Everybody pulls their own weight and helps the ship of the family get along, love each other, embrace each other. That's how you make a household work. If you're so fortunate to sit up here and have somebody that can pay all the bills, still chip in, participate, put some skin in the game. At any rate, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that bell notification. Join us on our journey. Warheads out.